Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Toned In Entertainment, where we love pop culture. Today, it's time for another comic book review. Now, when we left off with issue number 3 of Geiger, we got several revelations like how the King of Camelot got his scar at the hands of Geiger, plus Geiger's hopes of his family being alive and safe down in that bunker. Well, there's nothing left to them but dust and bones. What's next up for the glowing man? Well, let's get on with my comic book review for Geiger issue number 4. Now, while we have learned quite a bit recently about Geiger, there's still a lot of questions that us readers have, and thankfully Henry is along, as he's just as inquisitive as I am, as we will get some answers as they continue to make their way into Arizona. One of the things we'll learn is we'll finally know the name of the two-headed wolf, and that he's named Barney. We will also get some more insight as to just how the boring rods that Geiger is now equipped with actually work. But as the trio of Geiger, Henry, and Haley continue on with their journey, it looks like they're about to get some unwanted guests. Now, what is the King of Camelot up to? Well, he's returned back to his castle back in Vegas, but only to regroup for a moment, because he knows as each second goes by, those kids, they get further away. Now, before the king gets an opportunity to regroup, he runs into one of his servants that tells him the queen has requested seconds. But the king will exclaim that she is no queen, that she is the beast. Now, who is this beast that he speaks of? Well, let's just say it's going to be none other than his own mother. And it appears that these two probably haven't had a nice mother-son outing in quite some time. Now, through a conversation, we will learn that before the war, the King of Camelot here, or as he's known as Jeremy, that his parents were pretty high up in the US government food chain, as his dad was one of the people to have the codes to the nuclear weapons. But when Jeremy asks for them, his mother just insults him with calling him an ugly little scab and laughing it up at what Geiger has done to his face. But when Jeremy doesn't get what he wants, he will continue on making sure his mother suffers. Now, as we head down into the casino, we're going to catch up with Miss Borden, who's putting her own team together, and let's just say it appears she's only using the king as a pawn in her own game to get her hands on those missiles. As we get back on the road again, those bandits that were scoping out Geiger, Henry, and Haley have caught up with them, and that's when we learn that these are the organ people that we were teased would come into play back in issue number 3. Now, why are they called the organ people? Well, as Geiger puts it, after the bomb, some people refused to wear suits and their body and minds were infected with tumors. And not only do they find themselves searching out for donors to help them keep living, whatever the doctors can't use, well, it ends up on the dinner table. Now, as the organ people set their sights on Geiger's vehicle, they're going to learn just what a formidable foe the glowing man is. But even though Geiger is quite the warrior, he ends up being overwhelmed. And when Haley goes out to check out on Geiger, she finds herself in the clutches of one of the organ people, at least momentarily, until this bandit ends up with a hole in the head. Now, as issue number 4 comes to its conclusion, we're going to see the people who are responsible for Haley's rescue, but it looks like they're going to remain a mystery just for a little bit. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give issue number 4 of Geiger a 9.5 out of 10. Geiger continues to not only be an adrenaline, action-packed rush through every issue thus far, but I keep getting invested more into these characters as each issue passes, as creators Jeff Johns and Gary Frank have truly made all these characters three-dimensional. Also, not to be outdone is the art team, who really make their story feel alive in every aspect with their attention to detail, with my personal favorite in this particular issue being the old lady playing the slots in the casino while Miss Borden is formulating her master plan. Now, as far as issue 5 goes, we do get some teasers as to what questions we should expect answers for, like where are the kids being taken, why is Geiger a prisoner, and most importantly, what's for lunch? Alright guys, well, that's going to wrap up my comic book review for Geiger issue number 4. Now, if you read this issue, what are your thoughts so far, and what do you think about the series thus far? I am really loving this series, and I'm definitely excited to see what's to come in the future. So guys, if you like comic book reviews like this and all things pop culture, make sure you stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.